Hey loves, welcome back to The Simple Medicine. It's your host Jasmine, and today we're going to be talking about how to write a recommendation letter. Now, I know this may be a long task, but I'm here to make it a little bit lighter if I can. So let's dive in. I want to start off every episode with an inspirational quote or scripture, and I just believe that will put us in the right mindset before we talk about whatever topic it is we're talking about. I want to make sure that this podcast is something that's relatable and fun and not just listening to someone talk. So today we're starting off with inspiring quote, which I believe resonates with me. And that quote is, "The best way to predict the future is to create it," by Peter Drucker. So to me, I just believe that this quote is just saying that you're taking control of your destiny. Instead of just waiting to see what happens, it encourages you to actively shape your future through your actions and decisions. And for pre-med students, that means putting in the hard work now and planning ahead and making strategic choices that lead us to our goals. It's a reminder that we have the power to influence our outcomes by being proactive and intentional about our efforts. So make sure you're still keeping a good head on your shoulders and just sticking to the plan. Because even though there's going to be a lot of bumpy roads ahead, you got to keep going. I believe in you, and so should you. So let's talk about recommendation letters and why are they so important. I believe that recommendation letters can set you apart through your medical school application. Now, of course, they are a requirement, so we have no way of avoiding them. But med schools just want to see who you are. They don't want to just see your grades and your test scores. They want to know who you are as a person. And a strong recommendation letter can definitely showcase your work ethic, leadership, and dedication for medicine. So I believe the proper time to ask for a recommendation letter, it should be around 2 to 3 months before you actually need the letters. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't already be working on your personal statement drafts as well. You should already be starting to work on that 3 to 4 months ahead, or whenever you have the free time to get that started now, because it's not as easy as it seems. Don't be like me and wait to the last minute, because I was definitely struggling trying to get that together. I had about 20, 30 drafts. Yeah, that's serious. But at the end of the day, professors are busy people, and giving them plenty of time means that they can write a thoughtful and detailed letter for you. So here's how to go about it. The first things first is you want to make sure you're choosing the right professor to write on your behalf. And it doesn't just have to be a professor. It can be anyone that is at an academia level that can write on your behalf. It could also be a doctor that you're shadowing. But while you're choosing this person, make sure you choose someone who can write a favorable letter that can speak positively on your behalf. Now, let me rewind that back for you. You want someone who can speak positive on your behalf, okay? Don't choose anyone just because you're desperate that don't know you, because they're going to be writing a letter about you, and medical schools are going to be reading that. So I suggest you find someone who knows just a little bit about you, or if you're going to make that personal statement something, it better be a lot of details about you. But I would prefer, if you do not know them and you're in desperate need of a recommendation letter, schedule a Zoom meeting or a lunch. I ate lunch with my professors in order for them to write my recommendation letter so they can get to know me on a more personal basis. So get out there and shine. Don't let anyone else take your spot. Everybody else is doing it, so why are you just sitting and waiting and watching? Get out there, go to the office hours. If you're shy, write them letters. Go to Zoom. We have Zoom now where you can virtually chat with these professors. Don't get left out just because you're shy, okay? You have to get these recommendation letters one way or another, so don't just sit back and wait. Also want to make sure you keep a good list of these professors or these academic people, the doctors that you're shadowing. Make sure that you get their information. Please do not be like me. I was shadowing doctors and I did not write their name down. I had an email but didn't know who the person was. I had a name but didn't have an email. I was always missing information. So make sure you always, get the name, email, and phone number, because you're going to need that in the long run. So why not get ahead of it now and at least gather you 6 people that you know that can potentially write your letters, because out of my 6 people, I only have 4 out of the 6 I wanted to personally write my letter. Now, of course, I did ended up getting 6 people to write my recommendation letter, but it's better to already plan ahead in case something happens where that professor or person that you chose can't write your letter. Now, when you figured out who to ask, it's time to move on to the next step. And no, I'm not talking about sliding into their DMs, but by sending them a polite and professional email. Okay, so here's a little template that you can use. And just as a reminder, you can switch it up however you like. This is just to give you some type of idea of where to start. So, dear professor and their last name, I hope this email finds you well. I am applying to medical school and would be honored if you could write a recommendation letter for me. I have enjoyed and benefited greatly from your class, and I believe you can provide valuable insight into my abilities and character. I am happy to provide any additional information you may need. Thank you for considering my request. Sincerely, your name. Now, that sounds simple, right? So when you meet with them, you can bring along your resume or your personal statement draft. Now, I prefer to already have that email to them or have it ready on standby when they respond back saying yes, they would, because you don't want to move too fast and send them all of this information if they deny. So you kind of just want to have that on the sideline, just waiting, or if you stated in your email that you would like to meet up with them, if you guys are more on a personal level, you can meet up with them and just make sure you bring a copy of your resume and your personal statement. That would be good to give them, and where they can highlight more details about you in their letter. This just makes their jobs easier and ensures that the letters cover all the important points. So another tip, don't forget to follow up. Now, professors have a lot on their plate, and sometimes, honey, they will take forever to email you back. So a gentle reminder, that should not hurt anything, especially before the deadline. And never tell them that your letter is due on the deadline. Honey, bump those dates up. Bump them up some. If that application is due on February the 12th, you tell them that it is due February the 1st. You give yourself time, because you do not have time to be stressing among every other thing that you have to stress about. So just keep it polite and simple, and just as a reminder to make sure that they still have you on their mind. And finally, when everything is said and done, make sure you send a thank you. You have to tell them thank you. Even after the fact they wrote your letter, just keep making sure you show your gratitude, because remember, they're doing you a big favor, and it's important to acknowledge that. So you can either do a handwritten note, some people prefer that, or you can do a sincere email, which is what I did. And some of them I also gave personal cards. So there you have it on how to ask for a recommendation letter. And it's all about being respectful, prepared, and detailed. Also grateful. But thank you for listening to this podcast. And remember to check out the website if you need more information and you just need to see it. I'm more of a person where I need to see it face to face. And because it's kind of hard for me to sometimes follow along with audio. But just know that you've got this, and I believe in you. That's all for today. Thank you for tuning in to The Simple Medicine. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Until next time, keep smiling, stay curious, and remember, you got this.